have assembled under one roof the greatest faculty you can ever imagine. Basically, the largest and most talented collection of children's book authors, illustrators, publishers, editors, and agents ever to gather. And so they come here to work with you, to get to know you, to teach you, to be inspired by you.
Are you here to get rich? Silly people. All right, that does come to a few. J.K. Rowling. But it is not what this job is about, and not what this conference has been about. What our job is about is speaking to the hearts of children, whether by words or art or both combined. You've been given a gift, and you have a quest. You will change the world. You cannot help but do so simply by being here. And you will never know all the ways in which it will happen. But remember this: each act of creation, every story, every poem, every book, every picture, every painting, every article is a pebble tossed into the great pond of existence, and each time it is experienced, it creates new ripples, lapping outward to places you might least expect. Some of those ripples will wash up against hard shores and die away. But because your art can be received again and again and again, it remains ever capable of creating new ripples and new changes.
Children innately respond to inspiration, I found. If you ask them, they will tell you what they love. They will sing and dance with you and sit down and write a poem with you. They are innately creative, curious, and honest. Illustrating children's books allows me to make my work accessible, relatable, affordable, and beautiful. What is more accessible than a book in a library? What's more relatable than stories of childhood? We've all experienced that. What's more affordable than free? And what's more beautiful than a mirror reflection of ourselves?
Children can learn skills of bravery and resilience and grit, compassion, vulnerability, and empathy from reading characters who experience this internal journey. Our life here on earth, it's very limited. What will your legacy be? Will you spend your one cherished life devouring Netflix? Or will you fight to make a difference? Leave a mark, improve the world. There are many of us here with wishes, but wishes can be a very sad thing. They are passive longings. So change your wishes into goals and take your goals and act on them, because nothing in this amazing life is ever accomplished without action. If you pause while working and you look up where the wall meets the ceiling and you ask yourself, should I say that? The answer is yes, you should. If you can go home and dig deep, share the shards of yourself, if you can put your heart on the page, if you can be authentic, honest, and true, well, you are going to change lives.
How did you get your first book published? In 1989, I went to a little conference called the Society of Children's Book Writers. The I was not in it at that time. It was at Bank Street in a little classroom. And that's how it began. I met an editor by the name of Marjorie Kyler, and I told her this idea that I had for a book, and she said, go do that. And so I did. So thank goodness for the SCBWI.
My day at work. My day in my studio is very playful. If I'm playing, if I'm having fun, I'm doing my best work. So one of my best things to play on is a drum. And we have one here. So this is kind of an auditory metaphor for the way that I work. So, yeah, I find that I have to change sets a lot when I'm in my creative process. In school, they call it ADHD. In my studio, I call it the creative process. So if I switch to another activity and I'm activating different neural pathways in my brain, it just frees up my creative thought. So I'll play certain patterns, like a paradiddle, which is right, left, right, right, left, right, left. That's a paradiddle. me practice that a little bit, and maybe I'll do a double paradiddle, which would be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Or maybe I'll play a triple paradiddle, which would be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Or maybe I'll play the paradiddle backwards. Left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Or halfway from the middle, which would be right, left, left, right, left, 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 left. Or I'll put them all together and make up my own little improvised beat. Thank you.
The act of making story is steeped in hope, from an impulse of generosity that says, you are not alone. Let me prove it to you. And to write a book is to accept that you will be changed on the other side of it. You will doubt yourselves. Sometimes we doubt. You will not want to go to the tough places inside. You will go to the tough places inside. You will think your work sucks. Sometimes your work will suck. But embrace the suck. You'll get it right after you get it wrong. You have inside you a beautiful dream of what your book will be, and still your beautiful, perfect in your head, on-brand story will get away from you like a screaming naked toddler running through the house with a full bottle of chocolate syrup, you chasing after, wondering why the hell you had children. Good books are humanity manuals that connect us to the larger human experience.
Make things that make you smile. That's where the magic happens. When you're telling your story to yourself and you smile or maybe cry because you know it's true. And there's no one that can tell you otherwise. Making a book is about discovering who we are. And in each one, I find a new truth. What if everyone told their story? What if we knew the secret stories, the untold stories? What if we faced the stories hidden within ourselves? What would the world be like if we could count on everything being true? You tell me.
If you're bored and uninterested, it usually means you haven't spent enough time saturating yourself in the inspiration, or worse, you've started with an idea that you're honestly not that passionate about. If you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, you're trying to consider too many pieces at once. If you're feeling fried, you've pushed too far. Go simmer and come back fresh. This process just needs for you to show up for a little time every day in order for it to be sustained. Even if that means it's just for 15 minutes, that's every single day focusing on some small aspect of the creative process, which keeps your brain working actively on it even in the off hours. Doing it for a short time every day is more effective than waiting for random large chunks of time. On the surface, our goal might be to get to a finished manuscript, a published book, or a full-time career. But our truest goal is to love the process so much that we can't not show up to do it every day.
Sometimes they are these moments, these turning points that we have that happen inside of us. And then they might have repercussions, and how you build the story around those moments is what might really turn the whole book. That might be the gears that the book turn on. But either way, it doesn't have to be gigantic armies clashing at the foot of a mountain. Sometimes it's just a moment of revelation and of realization. And you can do that if you build the story blocks correctly and put them in the right order and get us to that moment and love language and the sound of words as they roll off your tongue and get us to the point. But also you have to remember to end the story when the story is over, which sometimes your story is over. In fact, always, every story must end. And you have to know when that ending is. Find your ending and stick the landing. And